All right, meat giant Tyson laying off 1,200 workers after closing its pork factory in Perry, Iowa, only later to announce 52,000 jobs for migrants.
The company's excuse: migrants are getting the jobs that Americans don't want.
The immigration problem is a problem, and it does need to be addressed, and it does need to be fixed.
Interesting.
But making those comments, those racist comments, do not help.
And if you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that,
No.
you know what I mean? Like, when I'm saying that
There's more jobs to
in LA, they always,
But
they don't.
Latinos are not the
No,
only
I
people
didn't mean
doing
it like that. Come on. No, I would never mean it like that.
Okay.
Like, I'm not part of this argument with.
I think what you're saying is that Trump himself
He needs to look out
probably
the window and
relies on a
realize
lot of
this
these people that
country
he's
is not
insulting.
white people.
I think
Right,
you
Wow. I mean, this story is also, today is just a day of people betraying common sense. Absolute insanity. Tyson Foods, which I guess makes, a wide variety of different things. They carry, Tyson Chicken, Jimmy Dean, Hillshire Farms, Sara Lee, Bosco's, so many more. In fact, I'll show you a list of all the various brands that they have. This, by the way, this is a perfect time to remind you about the Veebs app. I'm going to leave a link in the description. It's an app that lets you just scan whatever you need or whatever you're, shopping for and figure out if the company's woke or not, or figure out if they're involved in any controversies like this. And if you use code 4444 when you install the app and they ask you to confirm the number, they'll give you a couple free months too. It's only $1 a month anyway, but still get the free trial. This is insane. Tyson Foods is laying off American workers and replacing them with illegal immigrants. And they thought that this would go over well. By the way, this is Joe Biden's America. I don't like to get overtly political. I think you guys all understand where I'm at politically, but this is the future that Joe Biden is ushering in. Americans outright getting fired, replaced with illegals, and these people are getting credit. These people are getting clout, free press. They held a fair in New York City to recruit illegals to work for them and promised to also then provide them with immigration lawyers. This is insane. Tyson Foods boycotted as it fires 1,300 people at Iowa pork plant and offers job and a lawyer package in bid to hire 42,000 illegals. And again, sorry, Daily Mail, I have to start calling you out too. They are not asylum seekers. They are illegal aliens, illegal invaders, overwhelmingly male, and overwhelmingly getting paid for, 100% by Americans' tax dollars. If you go to work and you're in America, you are paying for these people to stay for free in hotels, 3 meals a day. You're paying for their beer and their extra money gift cards to go to the grocery store. You're paying for their heat. You're paying for their electricity. And now Americans are getting fired and replaced by these individuals. In fact, they want to double their immigration hires to 84,000. They are outright saying, we don't want to hire American citizens. We want to hire illegals. We want to give more incentive for people to illegally cross our southern border, break the law entering this country, and then they're willing to fire American citizens, by the way, I'm sure of all races and backgrounds and religions, okay? Probably people that, maybe some people that also legally immigrated here. 1.2 million U.S.-born workers will lose their jobs this year to illegal invaders. Angry shoppers are boycotting Tyson Foods as a $53 million meat firm shutters plants in Iowa and elsewhere while hiring thousands of illegal aliens at job fairs in New York. You know how they ended up there, right? So Abbott from Texas is busing them all to New York, busing them to Chicago. By the way, busing them everywhere. I told you in this, I believe I told a story on this channel. I live in a very small suburb, 45 minutes from any major city. And there are hundreds of illegals here. You see them at the grocery store, 10, 15 at a time, carts filled to the brim. None of them speak English, and they have a handler with them usually who does all the talking. Then they all get into express vans or sprinter vans, and they go wherever it is. I don't know where they go, where they're staying, but it's very obvious that all of these groups of, and by the way, it's all men. I've never seen a woman or a child with them. It's all men. Some of them face tattoos, things like that. I don't know where the women and children are, but they're not where I live. And these people are not asylum seekers, and it's insane. That's just like, oh, feel bad for them. Okay, well, now Americans are just getting fired and replaced with them right out in the open. Are you still going to vote for Joe Biden's border policies? Campaigners are urging consumers who stop buying Tyson products amid a wave of closures of poultry meat processing plants across Iowa, Virginia, Arkansas, Indiana, Missouri. They point to Tyson's efforts to hire thousands of illegal aliens in New York, offering them $16.50 an hour plus free immigration lawyers, accusing the firm of ditching U.S.-born workers for cheap migrant labor. Look, I don't think that they even have to be U.S.-born. They just have to be citizens. As long as they immigrated here legally, why shouldn't they? They're the same to me as anyone else. America First Legal, a conservative action group launched by former Trump administration officials, warned Tyson that it could be breaking the law by favoring foreign-born workers over U.S. or Americans, citizens. Quote, it is illegal under federal law to discriminate against American citizens based on their citizenship in favor of non-citizens of any kind when it comes to employment, the legal action group said. Well, I sure hope that, I hope they get sued. I hope they do, because this is insane. Insane. Tyson Foods, based in Springdale, Arkansas, which made $52 million in sales last year through its Jimmy Dean, Hillshire Farm, Bellway, Wright, Idell's, and other brands, did not answer Daily Mail's request for comment. The boycott raises tough questions for Tyson's $13 million a year CEO, by the way. You made $58 million. Your CEO makes $13 million. Your CEO gets paid almost more than 20% of your revenue. Think about that. The CEO makes 20% of what the entire company does, and he's busy firing Americans to hire illegals to save a few bucks. The case spotlights, of course, fears about migration across the U.S.-Mexico border, and that illegals are replacing Americans, especially meat packaging and other, quote, undesirable jobs amid record low unemployment. Well, what do you mean? If it's record low unemployment, who are the people they are replacing? These people have jobs, right? Now, I know that there are quote unquote undesirable jobs, but you know what happens in that case? You pay more. And then people say, yeah, it sucks, but I make a decent living. That's how capitalism works. Tyson said this week that it would shutter its pork plant in Perry, Iowa this summer, putting 1,300 people out of work in a town of just 8,000. So it's going to destroy the whole city. About half of the plant's workers are understood to be Latino, according to local news outlets. Last May, Tyson Foods closed facilities in Virginia and Arkansas that employed more than 1,600 people. In April, it announced plans to cut 10% of corporate jobs and 15% of executives. Plants in North Little Rock, Arkansas, Indiana, and Dexter and Noel, Missouri are all set to end operations in the first half of this year. Meanwhile, Tyson moved to hire more illegal aliens who headed to New York and other cities after entering the U.S. seeking to fill undesirable jobs. They didn't enter the U.S. to seek to fill undesirable jobs. They came here for free stuff, and they're getting it. They get a cell phone. They get cash when they cross the border. They get unlimited cash in New York City. They live for free in hotels in New York City, and they still complain about it. And Wokeness tweeted, Tyson is closing its facility in Perry, Iowa, laying off 1,200 workers, and said they plan to hire thousands of new illegals in states like New York. Again, there's a lot of places you can buy chicken. By the way, the meat packer already employs 42,000 immigrants out of its just 120,000, so over 30%. We would like to employ another 42,000 if we could find them. Garrett Dolan, who leads Tyson's social efforts. If you could find them? Are you kidding me? They're everywhere, in every city now. Go down to the border and just load up your buses, Tyson. You'd hire them in 2 days. $16.50 an hour with paid for immigration lawyers and other perks is what they're offering these people too. So don't tell me that there aren't people incentivizing illegal immigration. Hey, just walk across the border, break the law. Don't worry about it. We're a big corporation. We're going to pay for the lawyers. We're going to get you, citizenship. Plus, we're going to pay you below average wages. But don't worry about it. We'll also house you probably too. I mean, they're taking, look, I don't know what the general interest in meatpacking is, but I can tell you if the job paid $25 an hour, there'd be plenty of people lining up to do it. They just want to pad their profits with illegals. They don't care about Americans. The only American in that company that seems to care about Americans is the one himself. He makes $13 million a year. Look at me. I'm basically a communist now. He makes $13 million a year, and he's firing Americans across this country in favor of hiring illegals, and he's incentivizing it by paying for their lawyers. They're not refugees. They're not asylum seekers. They're illegal invaders. Asylum seekers cannot work in the U.S. upon entering the U.S. and typically do not get permits until 180 days after they apply for legal status. Yeah, well, they all work. They all work for cash. They all work for companies. There's a whole economy of people who, let's stop pretending. Of course they work. And they're also getting money from the government, money from us, taxpayers. So people are boycotting. You got Tyson, all their little terrible fake chicken nuggets. It's very easy to never buy Tyson ever again. Tyson has spent millions of dollars on immigration lawyers and offers paid time off to attend court hearings. Many also benefit from temporary free housing, on-site childcare, transportation, and English classes. Boy, it sure would be nice if you offered that to Americans. If you offered Americans on-site classes, or if you offered Americans, all the money you're spending on lawyers. Think about that. All the money they're spending on lawyers, housing, English teachers, all this stuff, they could probably be paying Americans, citizens, $23, $24, $25 an hour, maybe up to $30 an hour. Who even knows? But they would rather just get all these illegals because there's probably also backside government benefits and kickbacks for this too. Your leaders hate you. Corporations hate you. Start keeping a list. Download the Veebs app. Use code 4444. Veebs, just type in Veebs on your iPhone or Android or tablet. Screw Tyson Food forever. I can live without their fake chicken nuggets, right? It's very easy to not buy Tyson. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like on it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.